Jordan was an adventurous soul from an early age. More at ease in the great outdoors than in social settings, he often preferred solitude to the company of others. While many of his peers thrived in social circles, Jordan was content with his own company and found solace in nature. His constant companion through much of his teenage years was Whiskers, a lively German shepherd gifted to him by his father on his 13th birthday. Together, Jordan and Whiskers explored the woods, chasing after rabbits and squirrels. Even when they caught something, they would always release it back into the wild. Whiskers was more than a pet. He was Jordan's closest friend, sharing countless adventures in the forest. When Whiskers passed away from old age, Jordan was heartbroken. The loss was profound, leaving a void that no other companion could fill. But Jordan's connection to the woods remained strong. Life went on, and Jordan eventually married and started a family, but his passion for nature never wavered. He continued to visit the forest, where he found peace in the sounds of birds and the tranquility of camping under the stars. One evening, a few weeks before his 40th birthday, Jordan ventured into the forest for a different reason. He was now an avid photographer, and he aimed to capture the beauty of wildlife through his lens. He had just taken a photograph of a squirrel when an eerie howl pierced the quiet evening. Jordan's heart skipped a beat. "What was that?" he muttered to himself. The howl echoed again, and Jordan's instincts told him it was a wolf. Although he had heard wolves' howls many times, this one was different. It was laced with a haunting, agonizing quality that made his blood run cold. The howl was unmistakably one of pain. Jordan's gaze sharpened as he tried to locate the source. It seemed to be coming from deeper in the forest. Jordan was torn between the safety of returning home and the urge to investigate and potentially help the distressed animal. Rescuing a wolf was not something he had ever done before, and the danger involved was significant. The howl came again, louder and more desperate. The sound of the animal's suffering was unbearable. Without a second thought, Jordan pushed through the thick foliage, driven by a sense of duty and compassion. He stumbled into a small clearing and froze in his tracks. In front of him was a wolf, its front legs ensnared in a cruel metal trap. The wolf's eyes were filled with intense pain and fury. It glared at Jordan, its expression a mix of distress and aggression. The sight was heart-wrenching. Jordan, trying to communicate his intentions, spoke softly. "Hey, you're in pain, right? If you let me, I can help you. I'm not here to hurt you." But the wolf's response was a fierce growl followed by another agonizing howl. The animal's mistrust was palpable. Jordan could see the struggle as the wolf attempted to free itself, but the trap only seemed to tighten with every movement. The animal's angry howls were a stark reminder of how dangerous the situation was, not just for the wolf but for Jordan as well. Jordan knew he needed to approach carefully. He took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. Slowly, he inched closer to the trapped wolf, his movements deliberate and non-threatening. He spoke softly, trying to soothe the creature. "I'm going to help you. I promise." With a shaky hand, he carefully positioned the pliers around the trap's mechanism, trying to keep his movements as gentle as possible. As he worked, the wolf's growls softened, though it remained tense and watchful. Jordan could feel the weight of the wolf's gaze on him, and he understood that every second counted. He managed to loosen the trap's grip and carefully pried it open, freeing the wolf's injured legs. The moment the trap was removed, the wolf winced in pain, but did not attempt to attack or flee. Jordan backed away slowly, giving the wolf space. The animal's breathing was heavy and labored, but it was no longer ensnared. Jordan watched as the wolf gingerly stood up, its legs trembling. It turned its gaze to Jordan, and for a brief moment, the fierce eyes softened with a glimmer of gratitude. Jordan was overwhelmed by the sense of accomplishment and relief. He knew the wolf's recovery would be a long road, but for now, it was free from the cruel trap that had caused it so much suffering. As the wolf slowly limped away into the forest, Jordan felt a profound connection to the animal. It was a reminder of the delicate balance between humans and wildlife and the impact one person could make. Returning home, Jordan was filled with a mix of exhaustion and fulfillment. He had faced the danger of approaching a wild animal in distress and emerged successful. That night, as he lay in bed, he thought about Whiskers and how this act of kindness seemed to honor his old friend's memory. Jordan's encounter with the wolf was a life-changing experience. It reinforced his love for the natural world and deepened his commitment to protecting it. From that day forward, Jordan continued his outdoor adventures with a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that every interaction with nature carried the potential to make a difference. If you keep doing that, you're only going to hurt yourself more. Listen, buddy, I'm here to help, Jordan said soothingly as he approached the distressed wolf. The wolf responded with a sharp, piercing howl that startled Jordan. He stepped back, recognizing that the animal's aggressive behavior was rooted in fear and pain rather than malice. Jordan's resolve to assist the wolf remained unwavering. He understood that the creature's aggression was a result of its discomfort and distress. Despite the danger, Jordan was determined to help, even if it meant putting himself at risk. As Jordan got a closer look, he saw that the wolf had a severe cut on its leg from the trap. The injury was clearly deep, suggesting that the wolf had been ensnared for over 24 hours. The trap was a standard type with sharp metal jaws that had dug deeply into the young wolf's leg. This wolf, still not fully grown and estimated to be no more than 6 months old, had light brown fur with distinctive black eyes and a unique white streak running between its eyes. Determined to find a solution, Jordan tried to approach the wolf again, but as he did, the wolf bared its fangs in a threatening display. Jordan realized that rescuing the wolf would be challenging and would require earning the animal's trust. He stepped back to think through his approach, while the wolf continued to whimper, its strength waning from the pain. Jordan had a sudden idea. Food, he muttered to himself. The wolf must be hungry, and food might help regain its strength and trust. Jordan knew he needed to act quickly. At first, the wolf remained wary, growling, and refusing the meat. But Jordan persisted, continuing to throw small pieces of the hair towards the animal. Gradually, the wolf's resistance gave way, and it began to eat the meat, first tentatively and then with increasing eagerness. As the wolf ate, Jordan inched closer. The wolf's initial irritation at Jordan's proximity slowly faded, and it allowed him to approach without snapping. Seeing the wolf distracted by the food, Jordan attempted to reach for the trap, but the wolf, sensing movement, snapped at him, forcing Jordan to retreat. It became clear that removing the trap was not going to be straightforward. Jordan needed to find another way to gain the wolf's trust and free it from its painful predicament. With the wolf slowly regaining strength and eating with greater appetite, Jordan decided to return home for additional tools. He hurried back to his house and fetched a catch pole, a device he hoped would help him restrain the wolf long enough to remove the trap. When he returned, he found the wolf had regained some strength and was no longer whimpering. Jordan approached cautiously, trying to use the catch pole to gently pin the wolf down. However, the wolf, now somewhat more alert, quickly moved away. Jordan, though frustrated, kept his patience. "Oh, come on, I'm trying to help you," he said, his voice tinged with frustration. He tried again, but the wolf continued to evade him. Jordan took a moment to steady himself, then spoke softly to the animal. "Hey, buddy, I'm really trying to help you here, okay? Please let me get you out of this trap," Jordan said gently. He hoped that the calm tone and persistent effort would reassure the wolf that he meant no harm and was there to help. As soon as Jordan spoke those words, the wolf unexpectedly calmed down, ceasing its resistance. Jordan took advantage of the moment, carefully pressing the wolf's head down. To his relief, the wolf remained still, seeming to understand that Jordan was there to help. What Jordan did next was risky. With steady hands, he pried open the trap and freed the wolf's trapped legs. After being released, The wolf could have attacked Jordan out of fear or anger, but what happened next was astonishing. The wolf, still whimpering slightly, rose to its feet with evident effort. It looked directly at Jordan, its gaze piercing and thoughtful, almost as if it were searching his soul. To Jordan's amazement, the wolf's expression softened, and it seemed to be smiling. Then it performed a slight bow before turning away. Jordan stood in stunned silence, his mouth agape as the catch-pole slipped from his grasp. Was the wolf actually thanking him? Did it recognize Jordan as its savior? The gesture left Jordan deeply moved, reinforcing his belief in the capacity for emotion in animals. As the wolf limped off into the woods, Jordan couldn't help but smile. He had made a difference, and in doing so, he discovered a profound truth. Emotions and gratitude were not exclusive to humans. From that day on, Jordan dedicated himself to rescuing injured animals in the forest, driven by the powerful experience of saving a life and the unexpected bond it created.